It's definitely morning. It's definitely Friday. Can you tell I've got no energy? It's Tea Time Friday. Today I'm going to be talking about these 3 things from my week. First, what happens when you put crap in your body? This. Being in a state of constant improvement, always learning right, and my stationery addiction. Check it out. So, last night, what am I leaning on? I apologise if I look particularly rough today. Today's tea is brought to you by cappuccino, but it's not cappuccino, it's honey and lemon, because I need to master tipping the cup, because I need something this morning. I need something soothing and healthy-ish, but more soothing, because I ate a whole load of rubbish last night. And the problem with eating a whole load of rubbish is that you basically feel like rubbish the next day. And you know what? I'm sure when I was younger, it didn't feel like this. Although many of those times when I feel like rubbish, it may not have been for reasons that I thought it was. It could have just been that I'd eaten my weight in gummy sweets. That could have been the reason, right? The reason I was knackered all the time and wired half the time may not have been something with my head. It may have actually been Haribo addiction. I'm just going to put it out there. Haribo addiction. But that's not what I was on last night. I was on an ice cream, and so I haven't had a fizzy drink unless it's been with alcohol, I can't even remember when, and I had 1 bottle last night. I feel like death this morning. It feels like I went out and had a full-on raging session. So, kids, right, you need to, exam time is around, you need to not fill your body with rubbish. Unless, if I'm honest, unless you fill your body with rubbish all the time, because I know when I had a serious Diet Coke thing going on at one point, other brands are available. No, they're not. It wasn't a Diet Pepsi thing. It was a Diet Coke thing. And weaning myself off that was hard work. And I had big crashes. I got a lot of migraines when trying to come off that addiction. So, I was going to say... I don't know what I'm doing. I was going to say... don't eat loads of rubbish, but if you eat loads of rubbish already, don't stop. But if you don't normally eat loads of rubbish, now is not the time. Your brain won't cope, people. Your brain won't cope. Also, something else I've been doing this week, a little bit last week, mainly this week, I enrolled on a MOOC. Is that how you pronounce it? MOOC? I don't even know what that stands for. I think basically it's a free course online. I don't know, but they're called MOOCs, I think, MOOC. And obviously I'm a tutor, right? So I do tutoring stuff and I give my kids certain pieces of advice because I know that they work, right? And I've always wondered why, maybe is it just working for my kids? Is it the way that I'm doing something? Why is it working? Why isn't everyone doing this? I've always kind of wondered why my advice was on point. Actually, it's embedded in cognitive science, and I didn't even realise. I've been doing this course about learning how to learn. What's interesting, it's not that it's not teaching me anything new. It's not teaching me anything that I didn't know already, but it's putting it in words that I hadn't heard before, if that makes sense. So I'm learning about working memory, reprocessing information, which is completely why that whole organisation, going back through things worked, interleaving, spaced repetition. It's been really interesting. And what's nice is that I do a lot of teaching, but I don't do a lot of... well, you're learning kind of all the time, but I don't do that much learning, and doing book learning, like I've really enjoyed getting back into writing notes, going through summaries, trying to piece everything together. I will try and talk a bit louder because they've just started gardening outside, and I can't be doing with starting this again. Not today. So that's been really good, and it's been nice to test some of the things that I preach, how you can tweak them for different personalities. Like, it's been really, really useful. Everyone should be in a constant state of learning. When you're not a student anymore, man, don't just like dump your brain, right? Engage in it, learn something. It's really, really useful. And even if you are in learning at the moment, they always say, well, I've started my second course now. They say that if you learn something else that's not related to the thing that you're studying, it helps you study the thing that you're studying. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Especially languages, for some reason. I suppose it's that whole making new like connections in your brain is good in general, right? Anyway, my last thing. It's a bit of a confession. You guys, I'm Jade, by the way. I so didn't introduce myself at the beginning. If you guys know me, you know that my office is like, it's not an office. It used to be a toilet. It's tiny. Look, I don't even need to stretch my hand to touch the back. And you hear that? That's the front, right? So I really am in a box, which is why I sound echoey. There is nowhere else in my house that is not covered in toddler rubbish that is suitable for filming. So I film in here. And in this tiny bijou space is housing all my work stuff. And I have a confession. I think I have a stationery addiction. I have a mini pen addiction, I can't lie. I'm a little bit obsessed with going on Instagram and finding pretty pens in pretty colours and buying them. But they're useful, I use them. And all my stationery addiction is useful, but the thing that's getting a little bit out of control is my notebook addiction. So let me break it down. Let me put my tea down, right? I'm going rogue on this video. I don't care. I feel so rough today. This is my. They all have tasks. Each book has a task. So this is my workbook, where I've been doing all my notes. You see, I kind of do a Cornell style, bit of mind mapping, Cornell style of writing notes, kind of. This was another course that I did. Bit of washi tape in there. So this is my online course book. This is the course that I'm making, the Learn How to Study book. So this is like where I put like all my bits down, right? And you think that would be all I need. Obviously, I've got like a workbook for doing maths problems for my students, and that's not here, that's downstairs in my work bag. But, let me go this way. I have a problem. This is a book specifically for doing maths work. It's gridded on the fly. So, you know, that all essential, you need to solve a problem really quick, you need a little place to write it down. This is my answer maths questions on the go book, because everyone needs one of those. This was, oh my days. This is my agenda book, which is kind of like a diary book, but it's not really a diary. And I have testimonials that I write down in here. I have like ideas that I write down in here. Can you see I start a lot? And then I don't like to, once I start with a theme, I don't like to break the theme. So then if I want to do something different, I work at the back. So I do, so the middles are sometimes bare. This is a practice maths at home book, because you know, everyone needs one of those. So again, it's gridded, and I work through the maths. I use Maths Watch. And I work through it myself, just for, you know, giggles. And then I have a diary that's not really a diary, it's another notebook. and it has like loads of affirmation stuff, but you can plan out your week. I don't use the diary all the time. I use this other kind of notebook, which is like a diary, but it's out. I need something to be visual. This is beautiful and I love working with it, and it's been really useful, but the problem is I put it away and then I don't look at it again, right? So this is nice because it's out. I see it every time. You would think that's all a girl needs, right? But we continue. This I didn't buy with a set reason in mind, but just because it was super cute. And this was really my house ideas book, like what I was going to do with my house, what I was going to do. You can see there's lots of like scribbling going on. It's like really my ideas messy book, but house specific, because we all need one of those, right? And it's cute, it's in a binder and it's got a pom-pom. And then this one, I bought this specifically for blog ideas. So all the blogs that I write, the ideas come from this book. If you want to see my blogs, check out my website, www.coordinatedminds.com, and then you'd think I'd be over, right? Ba-dong-bong. This one is, again, it was a general ideas book, but for in diary form, but I tended to just like scribble in it, and this was ideas specifically to do with my tutoring and a course I was doing at the time. And then, because it's not over, this started as one kind of book and then turned into another book. So you could rip the pages out of this one, and because I'm obsessed with having a book for different things, this was my travel book. So I'd write places that I wanted to go, things that I wanted to see, and when I was there, like, it's nice, it's got pockets in it, and so I'd like put mementos in it. And then I just decided I don't want that anymore, so this is my I review books that I read in here. I have a problem. This isn't even all of the notebooks. If I look, there is a lot more. There's even more on the floor that I didn't show. And my stationery addiction, like my pen addiction, like standard stuff, right? I like my mild liners. I got my brush pens. I've got the Holy Grail. My Black Wings. I love this pencil so much. But it's a problem. I need to stop. So you need to send me some help, people. Send me some help. Or send me some pictures of some really nice notebooks I can buy. Okay, right. I'm going to sign off because this video is way too long. I need to drink my tea and get on with my day. So, I'm Jade. Don't forget about me. Subscribe. Notifications. Share, my friends. Share. I'm going to beg shamelessly for promotions at every video because I have no shame, right? Come and see me every Friday morning-ish time. Today it's like a bit late morning. If you want to see an unkept middle-aged woman rant about her week, but giving study advice along the way. Okay, I'm Jade signing off, and remember, as always, study like a boss.